Hey everybody, welcome to the West Dakota Dad. My name is Cody. This is my podcast where we talk about faith, family, and life. This is episode number 5, and we're going to be talking about giving. So over the years, I've become a huge fan of Dave Ramsey, okay? He has awesome material. He has 7 baby steps that helps people basically handle their finances better. He has a bunch of books out. I've read all of his books. I've read a lot of his personalities books, and it's just awesome material. And everything that he does is based on biblical principles, and I just can't get enough of it. And it's helped my family become financially stable as well. This is not an episode, though, about how we're going to handle money, even though the Bible has actually a lot to do with about handling money. But that can be saved for a later day. Last week, we talked about being thankful. This week, we're going to be talking about giving. Thanks. Giving. It's like I planned it or something. And this weekend is Thanksgiving? Oh, man. This is all coming together too well. Anyways, like I said, giving. The biggest question I had over the past few years is like, I would like to be generous, but how much and when to give? I know in the baby steps, baby step 7 is basically being outrageously generous. And so I'm like, okay, well, I got to wait till baby step 7. And I think I totally missed the point of the whole purpose of getting to that point. Because my wife, she has a natural giving heart, okay? And I would like to think I do, but it turns out in a story coming up here, I will let you know about how I had a turning point moment in my life recently. But one part that did click was in Dave Ramsey's legacy journey. He was talking about, and he had a great visual aid. I failed to provide a visual aid, so I'm sorry. He talked about having 2 cups or 2 bowls, basically 2 vessels, okay? The one that's on the inside of the outer one, this is you and your household, okay? Your family. And then the one on the bottom is your generosity. Your generosity. And when you pour water, which is going to represent your income, your time, your talent, your skills, that is filling up your cup. Because you need to take care of your family. You need to make sure that they're fed. You need to make sure that you have transportation to be able to go to work. You need to make sure that you have a roof over your head, your utilities paid for, your clothes, you're able to eat, if I didn't mention that already. You need to make sure that's all taken care of. And when that overflows, it goes into your generosity. Okay? Now, he also mentions the size of the cup in the middle. That's totally up to you. That's based on your heart. It can be huge. It can be little. I mean, whatever you need to do to take care of you and your family, that comes first. And like I said, that is your choice. And I think he gets that from 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7, where it says, "You must each decide in your heart how much to give. And don't give reluctantly or in response to pressure. For God loves a person who gives cheerfully." I mean, it just makes so much sense. You don't want to be like, here, take it, and okay, fine. I gave. Yes, that's what you wanted. No, he does not want you. He wants in your heart your willingness in your heart to be able to give. That's what he wants. And that's where it's all about, because it makes you so happy that you are able to make an impact. It's just helping building God's kingdom, right? And like I said, I had a turning point moment here, and I said my wife, she has a huge heart. She always is giving, and we always talk about our finances together because we want to make sure that we're on the same page so we don't fight about it later. But like I said, I had a problem in my mind about like, okay, we are in the baby steps. Once we get to 7, then we can be generous. Totally wrong, okay? And I know even in the Bible in some places it says 10% tithe to the church and everything. And that is debated, I guess, amongst Christians and everything. But it's a starting point. So it does say that in certain places. However, my wife always talks about, I'd like to get gifts for this person or their kids, or I like to do this nice gesture and everything. And in my mind, I get into this robotic mode. Is like, we are not on step 7, so we cannot do that, which is terrible. I know I'm tattling on myself right now. But then it seems like as soon as I start talking about it, I start to listen to myself, and I'm like, man, I'm kind of a heartless person almost, because I don't want to be able to give now. Like, what the heck? And it's something that I've battled with and everything. But recently I had a turning point moment. My wife was talking about how she had a friend in need. And yes, this is probably her dropping some huge hints that she would like to help this friend. But she was talking about this friend that was in need, okay? And in my head, as she was telling me the story, I thought to myself, I had this little voice inside my head said, how many more opportunities are you going to pass up to be able to make a difference now while being generous? How many? And it just was like, right after that, in my heart, I said, we need to help this person. We need to do that. This is something that's not a question. It's not something that, I'm sure somebody has already helped her or somebody will. We need to do this. Because that's what it's all about, being generous. And so we did. We helped out this person, and without asking anything in return. Because if you ask for anything in return, then it's more of a transaction. It's not really being generous. So we just, out of our goodness of our hearts, we wanted to help this person out. And surprisingly, we did get something in return. We got such a rewarding fulfillment of our hearts, knowing that we were able to help this person out, that, it almost made me want to completely abandon the baby steps and say, hey, we're being generous every day. Let's just go find people to help. Which I know that'd be just one extreme to the other. So we need to find that balance of, when an opportunity presents itself, we need to evaluate our situation, and we need to either act, or if we are unable to, then we need to at least try to do something, But like I said, it was a huge turning point for me. And I hope that you guys also have a turning point story like that already, or you will have one, because if we can't help each other out, life doesn't seem to have as much purpose. I know it says, I'm going to have to search this up because this just came to my head. In the Gospel of Matthew, I believe, they say, it is tough. It's easier for the camel to fit through the eye of a needle than a rich man to go to heaven. And that's not talking about rich people aren't going to heaven. That's just talking about having too much love for money. That's like serving two gods, which is another verse. Man, I should have wrote these down. I will post them though. I will put it on the bottom right here. The love of money is the root of all evil. It's not money is the root of all evil. It's the love of money is the root of all evil. And, because if you love money more than helping others. So as long as you know that you are just managing your blessings, which is God's money, and you're managing it well, and giving and everything. I'm not saying like, oh, you're automatically going to go to heaven, because as long as, now I'm getting way off topic here. Probably like 5 episodes worth of information. But it's about being generous, right? That's what we're talking about today. Generosity. So just give out of the cheerfulness of your heart. Okay? That's what it's all about. So last week was being thankful. This week's about giving. Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving this weekend. And until next time, I am the West Dakota Dad.